I learned a lot about my business partners and myself.
Oh, yeah.
I think Darren got up and said, fuck it. Go again. Like, you man, stop being negative. Like, come on. Like, you've got something. Don't let it slide. Don't let it go. And I feel like the three of us in that moment decided that we wasn't gonna fold.
I love that.
I feel because it would have been easy to fold. I mean,
Yeah.
we should have folded. We was done. We had nothing.
Yeah.
We had nothing. We had nothing.
People trust you.
At that point, yes, they did. That was very painful for us because we want to talk to them.
Yeah.
We want to explain and let them understand what's happening, and especially that it's through no fault of our own that this is happening today, because it's happening to us just as much as it's happening to them. Because what we've lost today,
Yeah.
it ain't coming back.
Yeah.
It's never coming back.
Yeah.
Whatever that cost that day, it's never coming back. Because that's how businesses work.
Yeah.
You can't recoup losses. You can just make money
Yeah.
and move forward if you can. But you have to accept that money that you lost that day, it's never coming back. Previously, when we've asked other festivals, like, can we get a tent or something, always been hit with no's. Now they couldn't ask us to do a tent because we wouldn't do it. 'Cause we don't need to do it. We asked you before, you didn't listen. So now we've created something.
Okay.
Nah, but it's true.
It's the truth.
It's true.
Yeah.
People shut doors on you.
Yeah.
You bring a sledgehammer and make a new door.
Absolutely.
If you can, you could try. You could try to do it if you can.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can walk through that and bring your friends with you. Don't let anybody who hasn't done what you're trying to do tell you how to do it. They have no idea. Because if they could do it, they would have done it.
Hi, Fever. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
How's your week been?
Busy.
I'm going to pretend that I didn't have to beg you to come here. Because I spent months calling you, banging off your phone.
Sorry. It's busy.
Yeah, I know. You're a busy man. You're a very busy man.
Yeah.
Pretend I don't know you. I don't know what you do.
Okay.
Can you tell me who you are and what you do?
My name's FEVA. Obviously, you've said that already. I'm 1/3 of the ownership of a brand called Originals, which we put on day parties, night parties, and festivals in and around London. That's what I do.
I mean, you're saying it really like coy, like it's nothing. But this is big. This is big. How long has the Originals been going on? When did you start?
2017.
Okay, so we're talking
This is the 8th year.
the 8th year. So, like, how did it start?
Originally, it started with a conversation, in all fairness, between myself, Kismet, Super D, and Pioneer.
Okay.
I think Pioneer and Super had a venue, and they came to me, myself and Kismet, and said, "Oh, what do we wanna? Would we wanna do something with the venue?" I think it didn't take very long to kind of like formulate what we was gonna do. You know, the scene was missing a day party.
Okay.
I mean, we've done parties before. We've done parties for years, all four of us. So we'd always done night parties. But I think the venue was available in the daytime.
Okay.
So it wasn't actually a nightclub.
Right.
That's very important. It was actually Hackney Marshes,
Okay.
where people obviously play football, but they have like a space with a roof terrace, which would have been perfect for a day party, obviously. So we decided we was going to do a day party. We decided on the name Originals.
Why Originals? I love that name, by the way. I wish I had it. It's such a good name.
The concept of the name came initially from, I came up with the name at the time, but it felt like the reason being, I'm going to tell you the truth, right?
Yeah.
I used to watch a TV show called with the same name. And it was about a group of the original vampires.
Yeah,
right?
I love it.
So there was like a family of 4, maybe. Mm-hmm. 3 brothers and 3 brothers and a sister, I think it was. And they were the founders of vampirism, say. Mm-hmm. So we felt, or I felt at the time, it matched us being, say, like, not the founders of, but very important people within the scene that we're in. And we was there at the inception of it.
Right.
So it made sense to me. It clicked in my head raw.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and they liked it. The other 3 guys, they liked it. So yeah, that's a good idea. They didn't really know what the reason was because I'm a TV geek. So they didn't even ask me. They was just like, oh yeah, that fits, boom. So we went with that. So everything was done that day on the spot.
Can I just ask, because did the originals logo start like that from the beginning?
No.
Because that's, okay, we'll touch on the branding then later. But all right, so it has developed.
Yes, over time. So basically, our friend Tipper, he's an MC. He's also good at graphic design. So
Love a friend who's multi-talented.
Definitely, very talented. And shout out Tipper. So basically, he was doing all of our original flyers that we were doing. I'm not gonna lie, Super came with a flyer, it was a bit bashment. So it was like, kids was like, no, we can't.
Did it have some like a woman on it?
No, it was mad. It was,
Okay.
Kids were like, no, we can't run with that. So then we gave it to Tipper. Tipper made some very good flyers.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't actually a logo at this time.
Right.
But I think we asked our friend Stixie, who's also a DJ, producer, and good at graphic design also. And the first logo was actually a nod to where we came from, which was Vinyl Days.
Right.
Right? So it was like let's just say a record label.
Yeah.
Say like the disc in the middle of the record that's got the hole.
Yeah.
So that was what it was based on. So it had the word originals and it had like it just looked like a record label that we used to buy back in the day. Then he progressed it to what it is now as well.
I love it. I really, really love it.
So there's still a nod to the vinyl because there's a tone arm, which is part of a turntable in the logo.
Right, okay.
So it just makes people understand that we're from that era of DJing, not
old school.
Not the CDJ life and
the big box.
Yeah, really, literally, you have to really think about it because you can't pick everything.
Okay, so you started in Hackney Marshes.
Yeah.
And what was the first event like? I mean, how did you fund it?
Fund it? Well, we're not broke, I guess.
How did you fund it? What you got the venue for free?
No,
you had to pay for the venue.
Of course.
Right.
It was if I remember rightly, it was a dry hire, which basically means that you have full control. You have to supply your own drink, staff, security, everything. Okay,
so let's just take this slow, right? So what was your first thing on planning?
I had done...
Because this is a big venture.
Yes or no. I'd done a dry hire before with a different brand that I had at the time.
Okay.
And it was on a lot bigger scale.
Okay.
It was at Bloomsbury Ballroom in Holborn. And it held like 1,200 people.
Okay, that's big.
Hackney Marshes is like 400.
Right.
So logistically, I thought that experience that I had there with that brand, I thought that we could do this. Okay. And we had help. You know, Kismet's cousin, Mel, she brung all the bar stuff.
Nice.
So she run the bar, right? So then you've got Super's friend Esther, helped out massively. She helped to run that bar. That bar was insane.
Okay.
That day.
Yeah.
And our good friend Abby, who I'd done the previous dry hire with,
right? He
was working with us on the day again. He helped with the logistics of that day.
Okay.
We had to hire in furniture, get a marquee built. I'm going to give you pictures to insert, trust me.
Thank you. But did you do a cash flow before you done all this? Or was it just like mental maths? Yeah, this can work.
I don't think that far ahead. if you're a promoter, you count your money at the end, and whatever you put in, as long as you get it back, if there's £1 on top, it's successful.
I mean, do you still think that way now?
No.
All right. Okay. So it's developed.
Yeah, because it's a business.
Okay.
We pay VAT.
Okay.
We can't think like that. It's not take the money and run. It's planning for the future and financial forecast or whatever it is that you need to think to further your brand or push it forward. Or if you may be lucky enough to get a sponsor. I don't know, whatever. But it's not like being a club promoter, I'll put it that way.
I feel like the first event was just caution in the air. This is a good opportunity. Let's
First
just see.
2 to 3 years, you mean?
Really?
Of course. It was just, we was doing something that was different, innit? You're doing dry hires where you're running bars and this and that and securities. And so I had a security team. Obi and Richard, they literally, I would say, Obi, Richard, Jams, they have a company, and I would say those guys helped us build our reputation massively because...
For the security?
Yeah, because basically with us and them, we grew together, right? We know them, they know us. So they weren't really trying to do security too tough, but they said they'll help us out. Obi said he'd help us out because he has a relationship with us. So the way that they do security is the way that our crowd needed to be secured.
Yeah,
so
strong.
It's very strong, and it's safe.
Yeah.
So people came that first party, they were like, "Oh, we felt super safe," because when you've got
that's so important.
When you've got control of the car park, the entrance, the gate at the front.
Yeah.
So that there's no isms and schisms.
No, seriously, that's really important because it's one of the reasons why I don't go to festivals. I don't go raving because I don't like to be in uncontrolled crowds.
Yeah,
it's not for me. So
it's a bugbear for every promoter, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a promoter and you have an event and nothing happens, you're happy.
Yeah.
Everyone goes home safe.
Yeah.
That's the aim.
Yeah.
The most important thing.
So has that always been at the forefront of 100%. Your minds?
We will spend whatever it takes to do that. If it has to cost more, if it eats into profit, it doesn't matter. It's just important, and you can't cut costs on that.
Where did that ethos come from? Has it always been in you, or did something happen?
Being a raver, being a DJ, you've seen a lot of things.
Yeah.
You go out in London, say like you're going out in London from the 90s, early 2000s. Most people would have seen something happen in a club. Yeah. Any club. Doesn't matter what club it is. Yeah. A super club, a little club, a rich club, a poor club, whatever club. You've seen something. Yeah. You've seen someone do something to someone else, or you've been party to an argument or altercation, anything. Yeah. Like you've seen it. And us as a group of guys, we've seen everything. I
can imagine. It's just, it wasn't going to happen on your watch.
Absolutely not. But there's things you can't control. Yeah. You can't control a single human's action, right? Yeah. I remember I was in a club in Shoreditch. Must have been early 2000. And it wasn't like it was like a trendy club.
Posh club.
Yeah. Guys come out the club. He's walking past. Someone drive past and shoot him.
What?
Yeah. Like, random. So random.
The world's a mad place.
Exactly. So when you see, like, that's not happened in the club. Yeah. It's happened outside the club. So the club has no control over the street. Yeah. You know, but it just hardens you. It just makes you think, oh. And I wasn't a promoter then. I was just a DJ. Yeah. But when you think about it, you look at that, you think, oh. So when you do your own event, you think, I don't want that to happen to my event.
Because it will completely ruin the brand as well.
100%.
Okay, so you done, how many events did you do in Hackney?
You make me look at my phone. I think the first one was at Hackney. So it started off Hackney Marshes. Yeah. Then the second one was golf club in Essex. Okay. Worcester Manor.
Was that in the same year, 2017?
17. So that was 17.
So if you don't mind me asking, did you make a profit on the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it was enough and the vibes were good and it was enough to say, okay, let's go again. We've got something here.
I mean, as I said, as long as you don't lose money, then you can go again, is what I will say. Like you can say, okay, let's go again. We can tighten this up, or we can adjust a bit.
Cool.
I think we did Sticks in Tottenham in 2018. Then 2018 again. We got asked to do a room at Ministry of Sound.
Nice.
Our friend Stephen C, he was doing, I can't remember what it was, Audio Horror Siesta, one of his raves that he does, and he asked us to host a room.
Okay.
The second room.
Because that's big.
Yeah, I mean, we'd never hosted a room at Ministry before. We all played there, but we've never hosted a room. So it was interesting. And then same year again, we went back to Hackney, 2018.
Okay. So we're just 2 years deep.
That's what.
And you've done 2 years deep, and you've done like what, 4 so far?
5.
5? Okay.
Well, 4 plus Ministry,
Right.
which isn't our party. And then the big year was 2019, I would say,
Why was that a big year?
because it changed everything.
Oh yeah, tell me.
Well, basically, we done 3 events in a place called Magic Spells. Shout out Jazz and Troy. They run the venue there, right? At the time, it was a brewery in Leighton. But they'd got it out of a weekend to make it a nightclub. So you was in the warehouse space on the inside and had a courtyard outside.
Nice.
And you're looking at 1,200 people.
Okay.
We did 3 events that summer.
Right.
In Magic Spells, and they all sold out.
Okay.
Then a long-time friend, Rachel, who used to come to the events, she said to us, you could turn this into a festival, right? And we just looked at her and we looked at each other and said, the tickets are there. Because if you've sold 3.6 thousand tickets in 3 events, that's enough to do something on a small scale.
Yeah.
Like a 2.5, shall we say.
Yeah.
So we had a meeting with her and partner Josh, her business partner. They basically run a production company that puts festivals on. So the meeting was good, and we set a date in, I think it was in Essex for 2020 to do a festival for like 2.5, 3K.
Okay.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
And then we had another event before that, which was in Oval Space in Hackney. That was at the end of 2019. COVID hit. March 2020, right? I think we sold 1,000 tickets.
Right.
Already. Before COVID hit. COVID hit, we said, all right, cool. You can have your money back, or you can keep it till we reschedule.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So, sorry, 1 minute. So 2019, you done 3 events, back to back, sold 1,200 tickets
Per event.
per event. You were then approached by Rachel and her partner Josh.
Business partner.
Josh.
She's a married lady.
Yep. Sorry.
And I like Rich.
No, I did mean business partner. You were then approached to say you could do a festival here. You then agreed. You moved forward, and the plan was to have your first festival in 2020.
Yeah.
But then COVID hit.
In March.
Okay.
I remember it.
So this is,
we all should.
We all remember this.
Yeah.
But especially you.
Wild times.
Yeah.
But then, you know what? I'll tell you what. That was probably the biggest blessing.
Why?
Because the protracted festival, right? Remember, we set it for free.
Yeah.
Right? We put it on sale when we felt that we had a date that we could go.
Yeah.
Right? It sold out in 10 minutes.
Wow.
We had to change venue and go bigger. And we moved it to what we felt might be the date that we might be free, right? From COVID, like in terms of, because they kept doing this and this.
But wait, sorry, Fever. You sold 1,000 tickets initially, but the date couldn't obviously because of COVID. So what did you do with those 1,000?
Told you, we offered people refunds or keep it to the next date.
What percentage accepted the refunds and what percentage kept it?
It was about 50 refunds.
Okay.
Maybe, if that.
Okay, so like
wasn't a lot.
People were
They were
riding strong.
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
We're not going anywhere. It's lockdown now. We're in our house.
But that's telling me that your brand is strong. Like people trust you.
At that point, yes, they did.
Yeah.
At that point, they did. Then we released the extra 2,000. They went. We was like, raw.
Are you kidding me?
No, they went. And then it was like, raw, we need a bigger venue. Rachel found us a bigger venue. It was a farm in Chelmsford. We was very clever. We set 2 dates. The 27th, I think it was 27th of July, and a date in September that we hadn't told anyone about.
Yeah.
But it was like, if we're not free then, we're going to be free then.
Yeah.
Boris, Waste Man, set the date that we're going to be free 27th of July. That was Freedom Day. The first Saturday.
What a blessing.
That we was allowed out.
Yeah.
Free. No restrictions.
And that's the date of your festival?
That was the date of the festival. Like, literally, we put that extra 2,000 back on. 3.5 minutes, they were gone.
What?
So
Kind of like Jay-Z or Usher.
Nah, man.
So Usher tickets.
It's only it was 5. It's like 5,000, innit? We sold out 5,000. It was like, Jesus Christ, what is going on? Same security team that I had, where we had at Hackney Marshes, were part of the team at the festival. They weren't the whole team, but they were part of the team. Whatever we do, they're part of the team.
I'm feeling like you got a nice little strong team that you've built up.
It's not team, it's family.
Family, okay.
It's family. The guy that does the ticketing now is the same guy that was doing it then.
Nice.
And he's not RA, not resident advisor. It's not all these other big, companies that approach us regularly. Like, and I always explain to them, like, when we work with people, we work with the people. It's not you, the name of your company, it's the person, right? So we connect with people and then we stay with them. We're loyal to them, they're loyal to us.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, can I swear?
Of course.
Okay. A ticketing company, Blocker, they fucked up.
Really?
Yeah, because it was the traffic. It's too much.
Couldn't handle it.
No way. That many people buying that many tickets in that space and time.
It's mad.
It was chaos for them.
Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah, their website crashed 25,000 times.
Wow.
Like, but Dean, who runs Blocko, owns Blocko, whatever, I said to him, listen, I'm not going to be onto you because it's something that's not going to happen to your site regularly. It's just, this is what's happened because lockdown, So we're still connected and we still work. He still does our festival tickets and he still does our club tickets. So,
that's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. As I said, it's family. So that festival was a moment for everyone.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, because there was not at the time, I would say the festivals that we looked up to as individuals and as DJs and as a collective were not Back to 95, that's the wrong name. 51st Date.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Matt's Barbecue.
Yeah.
Because these were both like festivals from our ilk, right?
Yeah,
Run by people who look
100%.
like us, right? Matt's was completely independent as well. So I have so much respect for both of those brands because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And Matt was doing it before everyone. And he grew it from his garden in his house to like 9,000 people.
That's crazy.
Exactly. So yeah,
It's crazy.
respectfully, they were like an inspiration then.
Yeah.
Like Matt and 51st Date.
Yeah.
It's an inspiration, 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. So when we saw, I'm going to give you a video for this as well. When you're looking out from the stage and you see that amount of people, and remember, we don't have any headliners. We don't have anyone famous. the people who are DJing at the festival are our friends that DJed with us in the club. So there's no Black Coffee or EZ or Dennis Red, and it's no one. It's Fever, it's Kismet, it's Tipper. It was Cold Steps at the time. It was Stixie. It was Seth Combo. It was Double Impact from Birmingham. Like, these are our people, right? It's not. They're not like. We had Heartless as well. Special. Mark Radford. Like, these are our people. Our friends that are MCs and DJs that are not able to be in this space just the same like us.
Yeah.
This is a space that we created for ourselves, because I think previously when we've asked other festivals, like, can we get a tent or something, always been hit with no's. Now they couldn't ask us to do a tent because we wouldn't do it. Because we don't need to do it. We asked you before, and you didn't listen. So now we've created something.
Okay.
No, but it's true.
It's the truth.
It's true.
Yeah.
People shut doors on you.
Yeah.
You bring a sledgehammer and make a new door.
Absolutely.
If you can. You could try. You could try to do it if you can.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can walk through that and bring your friends with you. So that's what we did, bring our friends with us. That day at the festival, everyone was free. It was a euphoric time for everyone. They were so drunk. They were so twisted. They were having the best time of their lives. It was like Lord of the Flies. It was insane.
I can only imagine.
Oh my God, it was insane. Then what we did is, that was on the Saturday, right? On the Monday we announced September. We said, let's do it again.
But that was very quick.
There's only 6 weeks until from that day to that day.
So you had to move fast.
It's Monday. Said it was going to happen on a Monday, put the tickets out on a Friday. Sold out in 3 weeks.
Wow. What was the number?
5 again.
Wow.
It was 5 again. So, I mean...
You're riding high.
We're buzzing from the first one.
Like, this is...
To sell out the second one, you got Rachel's, like, she's the most positive person you could ever meet. I told you. That's Rachel. She's always going to do that. That's how she is, you know.
That, and from the whole COVID to... You must have been...
I missed something out, actually.
Yeah, go on.
In COVID, we did a festival. A mini one. But it was part of an event series that Josh put on at his venue. He's got Colesdale Farm in North London. And he done an event series because you was allowed to be in pods in an outdoor pub.
Yeah.
That's a loophole. They used it. Created a mini festival, 1,500 people. 1,000 or 1,500 people, I can't remember.
What, all in pods?
In pods.
No way.
Supposedly. But we was all in... The pods were there.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizers. This is regulation stuff, innit?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Sold that in 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes.
These are crazy numbers.
It's lockdown though. Lockdown changed a lot of things for everyone.
Yeah.
Like you're selling that quicker.
People are desperate to
they want to be
have
out.
fun.
Yeah. So everyone was fine. Daytime, pods, everything running nice. When it got dark, forget pods, forget everything. And we had a couple of celebs in there. Like I think Anthony Joshua was there.
No way.
Yeah, it was. And Skepta was there.
What?
Yeah. Because people wanted to be out.
Wow.
They'll make like...
Why wasn't I there?
I don't know what you was doing, but you weren't there enjoying life. That's for sure. But that's what I'm saying. It's like... And everybody... They were treated like normal people, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone there is...
Everyone's just happy.
Yeah. They're taking pictures. Everyone's smiling. You know... They're just enjoying. It's not even... Let me be in a private place. I don't want no one around me.
Yeah.
They're with everyone in the crowd. Like, you'll see pictures and videos where they're just in the crowd with everyone.
Yeah, everyone's just appreciating
We
life.
never really have celebs, you know. There's brands that definitely have celebs come to their things, you know. Like, especially the R&B brands or the mixed genre brands, you know. They always have celebs come to... It wasn't something that was normal to us. That's what I would say. So, it was surreal.
You're making history right now.
Yeah, I mean...
100%.
Making a pathway.
Yeah, you're making history.
You got to remember, if we walk, someone else can run, right? So, say after that first year of doing festivals, then the next year after that, you saw other people from our scene doing festivals too, which is a beautiful thing. You had GGB and the boys doing I think they had a thing called they had Four Corners. They started Four Corners then. Pioneer started Pioneer Plays. Like them things happening is positive.
Did you ever get upset?
No.
Oh, no.
It's not. There's always going to be a rivalry.
Yeah.
But it always has to be with manners and respect because we're all each other's peers, right?
Yeah. So
you want people to do well.
Yeah.
Me as a person, I don't really like, I'm not a hater where I want people to fail. I want people to win. And I think that the more events that people create in that space, the better that space becomes for everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
And their festivals are they're not the same as ours.
Yeah.
Essentially, they'll have R&B and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, there's space for everyone. I think a lot of people forget that.
There's always space for everyone. I mean.
Space for everyone. And people also have a right to choose what they prefer, where they go.
Yeah, of course.
But can I ask you something? Did any of them come to you to ask for advice?
No.
Does that bother you?
I mean, it's strange. But I mean, some people just want to make their own road, innit? They're like,
they do.
I don't want to. I would ask personally.
I would ask.
Like, see, we was doing Dubai this year. I've rang Pio to ask him questions about certain things because he's done abroad. He's going to be year 3 now coming into it. So to me, he's got the experience that I do not have because I've never done it.
Yeah.
So I would ring him. I'm not gonna. My chest ain't high.
Yeah.
So I rang him and said, "Oh, Pio, da 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 da," and true to Pio, like he's a nice guy. Do you get what I'm saying to you? He gave me the answers that I required, and I was like, "Rah, thank you, calm, no problem." Do you get what I'm saying to you? Nobody asks me anything, but at the same time, they don't have to. No. We're not the gatekeepers of anything, right? If you want to ask advice, you can. People in the scene will tell you, Feva's giving me advice because I have, and I give it for free. Sometimes it's unsolicited, but I'll give it, especially if you're a new DJ or whatever. Like,
just give it to them raw.
Yeah, of course. Like, if a DJ says to me, if I ask the DJ the price and they tell me something stupid, I'll be like, you need to charge more money. Like, have respect for what you're doing and don't accept less than this.
I like that.
At a minimum. Do you get? People will tell you that. That's a fact. I'm not gassing. So where we've been DJs, right? Or we are DJs, we're trying to show them when we do our festival, we're showing them to respect that as an artist then.
I like that.
So we treat you a certain type of a way.
Yeah.
Not everybody treats everyone the same in terms of when you go to another festival to play, they might not treat you like how we treat people, but that's their business, right? But our business is people, as I said. Yeah. If you're part of the Originals family, you're part of the Originals family. That's, as long as you've played for us or whatever, or you play for us or whatever, you're part of our family. So we're going to look after you, innit?
It sounds like you've got quite a strong ethical standpoint when you do business.
Yeah, it's important.
Why do you think that's important?
Because you can't have anyone chatting shit about you and saying that you did this, you owe me that, you said... It's always going to... If anyone says that about us, it's always going to be nonsense.
Yeah.
It's always going to be nonsense.
Yeah.
There's never going to be truth to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, me as a person, I don't like owing anyone anything anyway, in life, in general. I don't even have a credit card, right? So...
No debt?
No. Not like that, no. So, as I said, that brings us to the next segment of festival life when we went into...
Which was it in September, right?
No. We went...
How did September go?
Amazingly well.
Right, okay.
September was fine.
So we had our July, we had our September in 2020.
2021.
And life was looking good.
Well, life was looking amazing, so sexy. Going to 2020.
Can I just ask, sorry, is that when you thought... is that when you thought like, yes? Or did you think that from a few years ago?
No, we did think yes, but it was premature.
Okay, so you were like, yeah, this is us now.
It was premature. I'll tell you for why. Because we went into 2021. Couldn't find a venue. Someone's come through with a venue for us. another production company, not Rachel and Josh.
Where was Rachel and Josh?
They were still they still was working with us, but we were struggling to get a venue that year. I don't know what was going on. It was really hard. And then time was just ticking. We met this is where we met this guy. And this is what I'm saying. Clean-hearted people. Josh come with me. Yeah? It's not going to be his show. But I've rung him and I said, Josh, can you come and see this venue with me? Because he knows exactly what needs to be done and how to do it, right? He said, yeah. He took time out of his own schedule to come and meet me in the depths of Surrey.
That's nice.
To look at this family. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So that's the type of people I like to deal with, right? So he can ask me for something, I'll give it to him. Boom, we've come down there. He's come. There's a guy there. He's like, oh yeah, he's got this plan of what he wants to do. This is the price, da-da-da-da-da. And Josh said to me, I mean, if he comes through with what he's doing, it's a no-brainer. And what people don't understand about Festival Land is that a lot of it is trusting blindly.
Right.
Right? So if the man says to you, that chair, so you can sit in it, it's not going to break. You're trusting what he says, right?
Yeah.
Because he told you it's not going to break. But then it breaks. And he'll be like, oh, it didn't break last time. You know, like that. But he's not your friend.
Right.
He's just a man that's standing right here.
Yeah.
So we met a man that was standing right here. That's how I feel it was. He was the man standing here telling the chair's not going to break.
Right.
So he was trying to sell at a venue and do an event series and sell it to various brands to try to do festivals over the course of 2 to 3 weekends.
Okay.
But I think if he had said it earlier in the year, he probably would have sold out all the dates. But he said it quite late, so he hadn't sold out all the dates.
Right.
But we bought a date.
Right.
But what we come to realise soon enough is that we were the only people that bought a date fully.
Right.
And we're paying, right?
Yeah.
You saying, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that. It's going to cost you this, it's going to cost you that. We're like, all right, cool, this is good, man. It's going to be cheap, like da-da-da-da-da. So we're paying in installments. Cool. Money's coming in, money's cool. Paying. And we're realising, like, bro, like, what about the other dates? Now, some of them were filled, but not all of them.
Okay.
An event series is, if you don't sell all the dates, it can be catastrophic.
Why?
Because your budget is based on selling all the dates.
Okay, yeah.
So you've spread the cost of what you're doing across selling all these dates for this price. That means we can pay for the infrastructure, the health and safety, the security, the internet.
Yeah, I get it.
Everything that's encompassed in putting a festival on call. Because then he started to like hawk it around for peanuts, like, and say, "You keep the door, I keep the bar." He started to do some different type of deals.
Right.
You keep the door, I keep the bar. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, right.
That's when you started to think something's going on.
It's not that something's going on. You've not sold the dates.
Right.
That's obvious. Like, it's not. You can't hide it because other people that we know are taking dates in there to do their festival. You know, I think my friend Chizzo and Daps, they did one. GGB and his team, they did one. They sold one to, it's like singers stroke rappers called The Manor from South. They did one which was actually successful. That one was very successful. A bit crazy, but very successful. You know, gone to the site to one of the festivals and we're like, this doesn't look like what he said it was going to look like or what we've paid for.
Why? What was wrong?
It's hard to describe.
What should you have seen?
A finished site.
And what does a finished site look like?
It means it has a fence that goes all the way around.
Okay.
That's a start.
Okay.
There's no fence at the front.
Right.
There was no front of house, which is like where you do the scanning and the searches and stuff like that.
Right.
There was no barriers. There was no... The VIP was garden chairs, not furniture, like what he said it would. There was no raised platform for the VIP. The VIP wasn't fenced in properly. There was no tower lights for the car park, so in the dark you can see nothing.
Oh wow!
There was no internet in the middle of a field, in the middle of nowhere, no internet. How you gonna?
Are you kidding?
How you gonna sell drinks without the internet?
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding.
When did you go to the site?
This is the week before our festival.
The week before?
Yeah. So then we went there on a Monday when there was nothing was happening, right? No, and we've gone there, and the man was just sitting there in the porter cabin saying, I'm fucked. I've overextended. I haven't made enough money on these shows, and I don't have any money. And people have pulled out left, right, and centre. This is Monday. Our show's on Saturday. He's like, I've got no security. I've got no traffic management. I've got no internet. I've got no this, that, this, that.
What did you do?
The only thing.
First of all, what were you feeling inside?
I get to punch him in his face. I'm not gonna lie.
I
was just like,
you was
taking
mad.
the fucking piss. We've paid you. We've paid you.
Yeah,
we paid you.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
So that week from Monday to Friday, myself, Super, Kiz, Rachel, yeah, we was at that site every day, building. And Rachel's
Are you
husband,
serious?
Rich is a site builder. Rachel's husband is a site builder, so he can build a whole festival site with him, him and his team, right? What a team!
What a blessing!
Combination.
Yeah.
So he brought his boys down. They rejigged the site. We did get the one thing that the guy did do is that he finished the steel shield, which is the really tall green fencing, like it's made of steel that you can't climb over. We managed to make him do that to close it up. Rachel got everything patterned, like the front of house, the scanning, we got it all sorted out. So the festival looked like a festival, right?
Oh my gosh, this must have been stress.
Big stress and expensive because it's our money, right?
So now you're having to spend, do you mind sharing how much you spent on that? Or is that private? Because this is extra expense you did not think about.
It was a couple of grand shy of 100. Come to think of, and that's not even including what we spent already.
Are you kidding me?
That's just what we spent that week to get it up to scratch. Like to get it up to scratch. So
basically £100,000.
Almost, literally, just a couple of quid off. Because what it is you're ringing people and it's on Friday, it's on Saturday. So they need to come. Do you get what I'm saying? You want furniture, it's going to cost you more. You want, everything's going to cost you more because you want it now. You know, we don't have you
don't have a choice.
No, we don't have a choice. We want to put the festival on. We need it to be safe, right? We had to rebuild the VIP. Like me and Kiz and Super did that ourselves. We had to rent furniture, bring that in. Like we was doing that ourselves. Everything. We was there every day, like workmen, like slaves, like literally, not slaves literally, but
no, I get it.
You know what I mean?
You were putting it.
We put it in.
That must have been.
It was no joke.
That's not funny.
It was no joke. She tried to get internet. Rachel tried to get internet, but you need like a 2 week kind of run to get it like where it's like untouchable. We couldn't. We had to do rudimental, like literally. You might as well say like a signal box you got in your house is about this big.
Yeah.
We bought ones that are like this big. Mm-hmm. That's what the guy did. He brung those and he put them around to create like a loop.
Yeah.
That you could hopefully get something out of it, which would have been better than anything because there was no reception there. Anyway, security, no security. Rachel called a team. I called my team. Yeah? They come. Her team come.
This guy fucked you over.
He fucked us royally. It didn't even end there. The guy that was the health and safety officer on the show. Now, what you got to understand, one important thing, health and safety officer is probably the most important person at a festival because they have the power to close your festival if they don't feel it's safe. Now, considering all the things that we did and all the things that we changed, and they have to sign off the site to say it's safe to use, right? Now, you had this site open and used when it was shit. For all those events that happened before us, it was shit. Definitely unsafe, 100%. We tightened up everything, made it look unbelievable. Like, it was unrecognizable to what you had there before. And
Have you got pictures?
Of the before and after?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Mad things happened after that. Yeah. So I'm not sure if we got pictures. But that health and safety officer was the guy in the portal cabin. It was his partner, one of his business partners. But they've already fallen out. But we never knew this. So health and safety guy was providing a security team, but he had pulled it.
Right.
So when he said that we ain't got security, it's because he pulled it.
Right.
Right. But at the time of all this happening, we never knew that he had security team. We never knew.
Right.
Because if we had known that, we would have told that guy to sack him, because you could sack him anytime.
Yeah.
We would have told you to sack him and we'll bring our own health and safety officer. Right. Because we can get one. Rachel and Josh can get one. But we never knew. This is things we weren't privy to, like information we weren't privy to. Boom. We go forward now. Festival's happening. Everything's running nice. Getting busy. Scanned in.
Thank God.
Nearly 4,000 people so far scanned in. Lovely. Then what was happening was people was parking on the road outside. Bearing in mind, we paid an extra 10K for parking inside.
So why were people parking outside? Okay, it's just what people do. It's what people do.
I think there was a festival the week before.
Yeah.
I won't mention any names because there's no slant on them, right? And it took you an hour or 2 hours to get out.
Right.
It was just the week before, 7 days. A lot of people that go to our festival was at that festival, and they were like, traumatized, like, raw, I'm gonna get stuck in it.
Yeah.
So, you know, people are like lemons, innit? So once they see people parking on the road, they think something's wrong. I need to park on the road too. The roads went a mile plus, the cars in a line. Bearing in mind, we're on an A road.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Single track both ways.
Gosh.
Yeah? So it's 2 track, right? It's an A road. Not a B road, an A road. You cannot park on an A road. The A406 is an A road. Nobody parks on it. Why would you? Are you mad? People was parking on an A road. And then they parked on both sides.
Didn't you tell them that there was a car park? Didn't they know?
Of course, it was free. We advertised it. Of course, 100%. But because they see other people parking on the road, so imagine you're driving towards the festival and you see cars all lined up on the side.
You just think you don't know what's going on. So
nobody used their head and said, "Oh, let me just go straight. There's parking inside." Maybe they thought the parking was full. Parking was empty. Empty. It was empty.
So you got 4,000 cars.
Not 4,000 cars.
But you know what I mean.
Cars all the way up the A road, and then they started parking on the other side of the A road. It's a 2-track road.
Oh my gosh.
There was cones. Move them. It's fine. Just move them. Doesn't matter. Then this is the game changer.
Obviously, you didn't know this was going on.
No, it was outside. I didn't know. There's bare people in there.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on outside until there was an emergency call. Someone got run over somewhere else, like in another part of that borough or whatever. And the ambulance was coming down the road where the festival was and couldn't get through.
Shit.
They couldn't get through.
Shit.
So when that happens, then they call it a traffic incident, right?
Yeah.
And they call the police. So they called the police to come because they can't get through. They can't get to their emergency call. And at that point, now you have an issue.
Of course.
Right?
What time was this? What time did the festival start and what time did this happen?
I had at 12. And this happened at, I would say, coming up to 5.
Right. What time does the festival finish?
10.
Right.
So the police have come in. They've seen that there's parking everywhere for everyone to park. They're thinking, why is people parked outside? But actually, it wasn't even the ambulance that called the police. It was my man, health and safety guy. And at which point, we was made aware of the situation outside with the cars. and health and safety man said, you need to turn off the music. He was like, so he turned off, mate, you have to do what he says. Turn off the music. And then what happened next was, obviously this guy, he had an ulterior motive. He didn't want it to go ahead because he could see it was going to be successful. Don't get me wrong, that traffic incident was serious. But what he asked us to do next was not something that was ever going to work.
What did he ask you to do?
Tell everyone to put their cars inside.
Right.
How?
So they would have to leave, find their car and drive their car into the car park.
Which some people did. But you know what happened then? You know what that same person did?
What?
Closed the car park.
Why would he do that? Why would he close the car park?
You have to ask him and his mum, because I don't even know what he was doing. And when he said to the guy that was the traffic management guy, he said, oh, that's what he told me to do. I said, no, move out the way. He moved out the way. He moved the van. The policeman was like, why did he tell him to block the car park? Policeman was like, what's going on? You know, like.
That's weird.
Like, it was all mad. Anyway, it was all mad. It was a melee outside. Like, you got people trying to bring their cars in. And he gave us a time limit of 20 minutes.
There's no way that's going to happen.
It's impossible.
We're talking about hundreds.
You couldn't even get to your car in that time, possibly, if you had to walk up the road and come. So from there, I thought, oh, something's going on, man. Something's happening. Like, what's the motivation to really not have the show or whatever?
What do you think that was about?
Them two.
Okay.
He fell out of him. And now you don't want him to get out of a hole that he's in. You've put him deeper in the hole, but you don't want him to get out of it. Doing this event would get him out of it and maybe make him survive, and he could possibly do it again next year and be better. You don't want that. Definitely don't want that. Because how are you working on the show is health and safety, but you've pulled your security. Why are you here? Because you don't want the show to work. That's why you pulled your security. But when we pulled everything out the bag and spent all that money, he was just looking like,
how?
Thinking, what the hell? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's unrealistic what he asked us to do anyway. So it was never going to work. It was never going to happen. Some people did it. Some people didn't. Most people just wasn't moving. And then they did something that we really was upset about, which was the police said to us, if it's like the health and safety said he's giving the show a red card, which means the show has to end. It's a show stop, right? And the police were saying to us, I don't know why they called us. This is not, like, there's nothing happening that's bad. We didn't need to be here. But because they're here, it made it all...
Yeah, it made it all seem...
Yeah, like there's a massive, there's bare police. Like, why are the police here? But then now that it's called a show stop, the police was like, well, we don't want you to tell people that it's not going to go ahead. We just want you to let them leave naturally. And we was like, that's not fair, man. Like we see the people that come to our event as our people, right? Because we've been in the crowd with them at other places and whatnot. So we try to treat them as well as we want to be treated, right? I mean, that was very painful for us because we want to talk to them.
Yeah.
We want to explain and let them understand what's happening. And especially that it's through no fault of our own that this is happening today. Because it's happening to us just as much as it's happening to them. Because what we've lost today, it ain't coming back.
Yeah.
It's never coming back.
Yeah.
Whatever that cost that day, it's never coming back. Because that's how businesses work.
Yeah.
You can't recoup losses. You can just make money.
Yeah.
And move forward if you can. But you have to accept that money that you lost that day,
it's gone.
It's never coming back.
Yeah.
You'll never get back to here.
Yeah.
Unless someone gave it you the money.
Yeah.
Because the money you earn after was what you was going to earn. So it's not replacing that. So yeah, we had rented a farmhouse in the area we was in. Myself, Kiz, Super. Kiz's good friend Warren G, like family to us. And my best friend Darren, we was all in this farmhouse. We all had our own bedroom.
Mm.
I was all just laying there looking at the ceiling, just swearing and just thinking what could have changed. And I feel like in that moment, I learned a lot about my business partners and myself.
Oh, yeah.
I think Darren got up and said, fuck it. Go again. Like, you man, stop being negative. Like, come on. Like, you've got something. Don't let it slide. Don't let it go. And I feel like the three of us in that moment decided that we wasn't going to fold.
I love that.
I feel because it would have been easy to fold. I mean, we should have folded. We was done. We had nothing.
Yeah.
We had nothing. We had nothing. Like we was done. All any profit that we had made from the however long we was doing it
Gone.
was sitting in that dead bit of grass over there. Like, you do it because you think you're gonna get back.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, the rent's closed early, so the bar's not making no money. Making no money.
You lost thousands that rent.
Hundreds that day.
Hundreds.
100%. And as I said, it's not coming back. But as I said, in that moment, I felt like the three of us really kind of thought like we showed each other something.
That's beautiful. Do you think like that's one of the benefits of building a business with other partners? Like being a co-founder, you've got other people to kind of like pull you up, to lean on, to share the burden.
Definitely. I mean, whatever business you're in, if you're on your own, you're in it on your own. But if you're in it with people, you need to be in it with, I guess, the right people. There has to be some type of balance, you know. I kind of made it my own personal crusade to like deal with the business side of things more than the music side, whereas they're more lean on the music side.
Yeah.
But it creates balance, right?
Yeah. You got to know your strengths and your weaknesses.
Exactly. Everyone can't do everything. So
do you feel supported like with them? Because I know I'm a founder all by myself.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like, there's been times like obviously we've argued and stuff, like that's normal because we've known it. Like what people don't understand is that we've known each other for over 20 years, right? That is a long time.
It's a long time.
Exactly. So there's a lot of history, a lot of, you know, water under the bridge, a lot of arguments, a lot of good times, a lot of bad times. Like there's a lot to unpack between like we've known each other a long time, right? None of us grew up with each other, but to
How
know
did you meet? In school?
No, Deja Vu, FM.
Okay.
I met Super before I met Kiz.
Okay.
He had a friend called Butters. Well, Butters is still alive and kicking and around. Butters boy.
Yeah.
He had a friend called Butters boy.
Okay.
That used to do a party with my friend Supreme and I think it was Ernest as well. And he used to DJ there and I used to DJ there. So I met him there. Later on, down the line, Tipper and Icy brought me onto Deja. They had a show on there, Deja Vu FM, which is from East London. It was a big station, massive station, great station, superb. It was run by a guy called Sting, and Rachel and Fatal. They brought me on that show that they used to do. Kismet was already on the station, right? And then we met because of like literally a love of buying music, right?
Right, okay.
So it's like Kismet buys a tune, he buys one for me, one for Kiz.
Yeah.
One for Icy and Tipper. I buy a tune, I do the same thing. Tipper buys the same thing. That's how we were like building a friendship, stroke relationship, whatever. Cool. Boom. And then, as I said, 20 years later, here we are. Like, business partners. Super has a record label. You know, Icy has an accounting firm. Like, it's all...
That's crazy.
He's our accountant, for God's sake. Like,
that's mad.
Yeah, it's full circle stuff. It's full circle stuff.
So in that moment, you all agreed to go again. And that was 2020.
2021.
That was 2021, and you did go again.
Yeah. Was I got a friend called Paddy. He's from my ends. He deals with management of like big stars and stuff. I'm not gonna bait up what he does and who he does it for. He got me a meeting at Live Nation. In the meeting at Live Nation, I told them the issues that we had.
Live Nation is a big deal.
Biggest festival promoters in the world. Biggest promoters in the world, full stop. They have everything. They have everything. And if you know the festival business, every London park is owned, or not, let's not say owned, the rights are owned by a corporation, whether it's Broadwick, Live Nation, AEG. So if you want a London park now, you have to chat to one of them to get a park. And it's going to cost you, because you're going to pay more than what they paid. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. So we went to Live Nation. I went to Live Nation on my own, to be fair. And I spoke with someone at Live Nation. Like, he's a big deal, the guy, because he puts on wireless, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's a
Imagine
big deal.
the budget of wireless. It's millions. Just on talent alone, it's millions. You know what I mean? So I showed him the issues that we had from last year. And he's like, okay, why don't you try to do Crystal Palace? We can put you in there. It'll be like this. Formulated a deal. I said, okay, cool. Put it to the boys. The boys said yes.
And here we are.
This is going to be year 3 at Crystal Palace.
And how has it been going at Crystal Palace?
It's been going really well. We did it to build the brand, not to make money. It doesn't really make money. But we did it to build the brand, make people understand that it's better, it's safer.
Yeah.
It's we're not going to be doing that show-stop stuff.
Yeah.
Right? We're not working with unscrupulous people that can't be trusted.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Because ultimately, it wasn't our fault, right? But for us to survive that moment, we had to give away. The numbers are mad, but everyone that scanned in was about 3.8 in the end. We gave them 2 vouchers for £20 each.
That's a lot of money.
I'll let you do the maths. The last 2 years.
Yeah.
And they can use those vouchers on any event that we put on.
Yeah.
That's how we survived. People still, people force refunds. They got refunds. They did the charge back stuff or whatever it is they wanted to do. But, we had to, because we didn't have that. Because we didn't, we didn't have it.
Yeah.
We didn't have it. So it's like, if you try to, you've got to make a choice. Because if you do this, you're done forever. But if you do this, you can possibly go again, depending on how the message comes out. The message came out. Some people cussed, of course.
Of course.
You know what Acme means? Like, they're going to cuss. There was people that cuss. And I felt for them. Yeah, but they never lost a fraction of what we lost that day.
The thing is, no one can deny that you're not a brand of your word. And that you haven't come back, and you haven't come back even stronger. Like, I look at I've never been to the festival. I'm frightened of uncontrolled crowds, even though I know your festivals are super safe. But I look on your social media, I look on your website. It looks so professional. It looks so sleek. It looks like you cannot do or put a foot wrong.
Yeah, I mean...
And I think that's testament.
That comes from us working with the guys at South Face and Live Nation, right? So they're professional at what they do. They've been doing it for years. The level that they do, their business at is very high. Yeah. Because they have big performers at their thing, right?
Do you feel like it's changed the way you do business when you're dealing with a certain level of professionalism?
Yeah, because financially it's mad.
Yeah.
What you have to pay people.
Yeah.
To do that. Like, when there's bills and it's like the bills like into the hundreds of thousands and you're like, what the hell? Like, I never thought that would be a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought that we would be there, so to speak, to be like, got to pay bills for like 100 grand or something.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was even something that we would ever be. We'd never have 100 grand in the business account.
Yeah.
Who? How? What? We're just 3 guys from like humble beginnings or whatever you want to call it, just normal people, like everyday. We have jobs.
Yeah.
We go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, to be honest, to be at that level is crazy for us. It's very surreal.
It's very.
It's also scary.
Do you sometimes think, I don't want to do this anymore?
No.
You want to do it?
100%.
Do you want it to get even bigger?
100%.
What's the vision for the business in the next 3 to 5 years?
Growth.
Okay. What does that look like for you?
For a festival to be successful, you need to get to like selling 8,000 tickets at least.
Okay.
Like then you've got skin in the game. Then you can do stuff. You can move forward.
Right.
Yes, it's great having 5. 5 isn't enough.
8 is a magic number.
8's a magic number.
So the next 3 to 5 years, you're looking at 8,000 plus.
Well, last year, attendees last year was over 7.
So you're basically there.
No, because we need them to pay.
Okay.
That's how much people was in there.
Okay.
But they're never all paid.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the whole...
Well, because it's guest list, it's...
Right.
You know, this, that, the other, like... So if I can get 8, like, if we can get 8,000 people to pay...
Yeah. Then you're...
Yeah, you're golden, because until you get there, you're not really... It's so expensive. It's a labour of love. It's not making you money.
So slow and steady wins the race, right?
I hope so.
So that's the vision for the next 2 to 3 years. 8,000 plus.
Hopefully, with that part of our brand, yeah.
And I know that you've got a Dubai Island, which is coming up in October.
Yeah.
I feel that's a whole different conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm hoping maybe you could come back and we can talk about that, because
maybe after, yeah.
To take it international that's next level stuff.
It is. As I said, like, say, like, we did a festival, then other people did festivals. Other people did abroad, right? Like, I think we went to Super played at Pioneer Place, which was in Malta, right? I have a friend that I know that is part of a brand called DLT, right? He puts that on. They did Malta, their first one, WizKid, whatever. Incredible. Incredible. So I see these people that I know doing these amazing things, and I think, wow, I want to do that. I wouldn't mind doing that.
You're doing it.
It looks amazing. Like, wow. Like the videos, the footage, even to even get people to get on a plane to go and party, it's insane to think that you could do that. So it makes sense to me that we could try and add that string to our bow.
Yeah, and you're doing it, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. We need another conversation to discuss that. Yeah, because
you've got a lot of time and a lot of rum. So.
But this conversation, unfortunately, we're coming to the end.
Yeah, of course.
Which is such a shame, because I am absolutely loving this conversation. The story of the
better
original.
than the last one, isn't it?
Yeah, even better, or just as good.
Yeah.
But the story of the originals is just absolutely amazing.
Could be a book or a movie, I think.
It really could. It really could. And I hope our listeners, I know our listeners have gleaned so many things, so many gems from your story. Before you go, would you just give one piece of advice to anyone out there listening that you think is imperative for an entrepreneur to have?
I think the most important advice that I would give to any entrepreneur is, don't let anybody who hasn't done what you're trying to do tell you how to do it. They have no idea. Because if they could do it, they would have done it.
Yeah, so true.
What the hell are you waiting for?
True.
What are they waiting for? Why are they waiting for you to try to tell you how? It's insane. Don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about.
So don't listen to anybody who hasn't gone where you're
No, if you want
going.
advice, get advice from someone that's doing it or done it.
And don't be afraid to ask.
No, never be afraid to ask. Never, ever be afraid to ask.
I agree.
Never, ever. I've got friends that are very successful, right, in their field, very influential in our black community, right? I would never be afraid to ask them a question. Because of them, I get to meet certain people that I would look up to, right, in our community, then people like Tim Campbell and whatever. He's a legend. He's a legend.
Yeah.
He's an amazing human.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you meet him, you're in awe.
Yeah.
Like it's like wow.
I remember watching him on the
On
The Apprentice. Yeah,
Unbelievable.
he's amazing. Do you know, like after this, like your DMs are going to be flooded with people asking you questions now, right?
I doubt it. My page is private anyway. They're going to be in the request box.
Oh, thank you, FEVA,
It's
so
cool, man.
much.
It was
I've had
nice.
an
Thank
amazing
you very
time.
much for having me. I appreciate
You're
it.
more than welcome.
And we'll talk again.
100%. Thank you.